And we're two-thirds of the way into this season of the AIF Star Championship. We've got 5 rounds to go. We're in Hockenheim today. Kenny Atchison leads the championship after a win at his home race in Silverstone last weekend. He's on 46 points, with Gunnar Nilsson and Alicia Salazar on 30 points each in second place. So you've got a pretty healthy gap to defend. No matter what happens today, Atchison will lead the championship. However, as we look to the grid, it is Alicia Salazar, the teammate of Atchison, on pole. He's joined on the front row by Joe Siffert in the march. Gunnar Nilsson, the other man tied second in points, is third, with Patrick Tombe fourth. He has 3 poles this season with just 1 victory. Michel Leclerc goes from fifth, joined on that row by the championship leader. Johnny Cicotto, a winner this season, goes from 7th. He's joined by the reigning champion, Jean-Pierre Giusseau. Ignacio Giunti and Elio De Angelis round out the top 10. De Angelis disappointed really to be so far down the grid given the car he's got. As we move into the second half of the grid, it's a resurgent Project 4. Andrea De Cesaris and Chico Serra both in the top 10 in Paul Ricard. And just outside the top 10 here, they've advanced up the grid to move past all the teams that are behind them. Mark Sierra goes from 13th for Maurer Motorsport, a podium sitter this season, as is Jeff Lees, who's alongside him. Their teammates, Satoru Nakajima and Edge Elg, yet to score. Rainer Wiesel back in the car after Roberto Guerrero's interesting and ultimately unfruitful cameo at Silverstone. He's 17th. Desiree Wilson, a podium finisher this season, 18th. And then Dave Charlton and Tim Schenkin round out the grid. Schenkin's form seems to have dropped off, but he does often manage to pull a result out of the bag. Really, it's only been in the last couple of races that he started to struggle, but he does sit 10th in points.
Yes, hasn't scored in, I think, discounting the cancelled race at Monaco. Yeah, I think it's been, 5 or 6 races, something like that. For him.
And in that time, all the points have been taken up by the big 4 teams. No one outside the top 8 in the championship has scored since Marina Bay.
No, indeed not. Which includes drivers who did perform well in the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
EJ Sarah last season. Charlton did have some good races last season, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but anyway, the start is approaching rapidly.
Indeed it is. Round 11 of the season, 5 races to conclude this championship, and we're underway in Germany. Salazar keeps his pole position, but is being challenged almost immediately by the Swiss Joe Siffert, and he's going for the move already on the back straight, but I don't think he'll get it on the straight. It would have to be into the hairpin here, but he remains in first place so far. Siffert second, Nilsson third. It pretty much has remained the same, apart from lower down. Well, no, there's some places. Atchison's up to 5th. Cicotto up a place. De Angelis up a place to 9th. Giunti back to 10th. Just so's lost a place, and now Giunti's out of the top 10 briefly, with De Cesaris fighting him in that Project 4, which has had a somewhat of a renaissance as the season has gone. It used to be big dogs of this championship, but they've had a very poor season relative to their own standards this time round. So Salazar with a comfortable lead so far. And Siffert about to take the lead, but only briefly, because Salazar is going to try. No, he was using his boot, but not enough to regain the lead. And now Siffert and Nilsson, the 2 marchers, it's a battle between them exclusively. Tombe up into 3rd. Atchison almost already behind his teammate. He is, of course, as Marco's pointed out, the championship leader by 16 points, which is, at this point, a very difficult lead to chase down, with the lack of points available and the fact that all the big teams are scoring most of the points, which of course includes Rout, especially the 2 drivers who have accumulated together many points, the most of anyone, 76, and that's about a 24-point advantage in the team's championship. But Siffert with a comfortable lead at the moment. He's pulled out a bit of a gap here. I don't think it'll be enough to... No, it is enough to wade off the DRS. So Tombe's going to go into 2nd place. And Siffert will remain in the lead. Salazar up to third and Atchison past Nilsson as well. So he's gone back 3 positions to 5th place. The Cesaris making some progress. Going to have to watch out for him because as soon as he sniffs a result, he can be brilliant on his day. Most days, really. He is probably the driver most people were looking forward to in this championship, but unfortunately he's just been beset with the problems of the Project 4 chassis this season. Start lap 4 then. Siffert probably going to remain in the lead again, so 2 consecutive laps of remaining in the lead of the race. But Salazar now back into 2nd place from his pole position at the start. Atchison 3rd now, so Rout, both cars in the podium at the moment. Leclerc 4th, Nilsson 5th, Tombe 6th, Chicotto 7th, Cesaris 8th, Gentile 9th and De Angelis 10th. That rounds out the top 10. Just so has fallen back out of the lower half of the top 10 and now is in 12th. Not much progress either from Ferrofade. Vassell has remained where he has been since the start of the race. And Siffert again. Imperious at the front. He's got a 2nd lead over the cars behind him. And now Atchison's going to be the one who's going to have to try and keep up with the Swiss driver in the March car. Who, of course, has come back to the championship from a previous stint racing for the Techno team when it was Martini sponsored. No longer the case, of course, it's now an elf, just an elf-backed team without any other major title sponsor. March itself has changed up, of course, after its seasons with Giacomelli and Mansell, both of which are now in AIC.
No, I think I've just realised I've had my microphone muted, but anyway.
Yes, I was having to carry the commentary for a bit, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I was muted. I didn't realise I had it unmuted myself. Siffert has won before for Techno at Yas Marina in season 5. And, of course, that's Techno. If he wins today, he'll propel himself up the standings, and he's looking rather good at the moment. But obviously the one that March would prefer to win would be Gunnar Nilsson, who is much closer to the outright championship lead and is linked to
he is
several
second in the
AIF
championship.
seats.
He is the most closest person. He's equal in points with Salazar. But, yeah.
De Angelis as well, doing a pretty poor job of making his way up the field. De Cesaris has done a fantastic job. De Cesaris might be someone who you'd look at and say no one's ever actually won their first title in their 2nd season, but De Cesaris could do that next season. But we'll see. Siffert pulling away again then. Leclerc's going to have to defend from Nilsson, but Nilsson's going to have an easy run here, as will Patrick Tombe. And De Angelis does come through as De Cesaris is falling away, but Nilsson might get into the lead here. Nilsson takes the lead. So that's perfect for March. Nilsson now leads, and he's got to try and get a gap, pull away by a 2nd from Joe Siffert. And here we have had all the boost. I was just waiting silently for that mess to sort itself out, because I do detest it, because it's just a complete mess. So let's see, is it going to sort itself out? Not quite, because Siffert hasn't used it. I don't think De Cesaris has, and some others as well. It's really messed up the order. Here comes Siffert now, and followed by Chicotto and De Cesaris, I think. But anyway, Nilsson's going to lose the lead to Tombe. Siffert flies through as well. Here comes Atchison. Bad news for Nilsson because of the way that worked out. Terrible boosting. And De Cesaris has been shuffled down. It's worked out very well for Techno, of everybody. I think it's worked out very well for Techno and very well for Patrick Tombe. Very badly for Gunnar Nilsson. But aside from that, bit of a mess. Bit of a shame to see that.
Not great for De Cesaris, though. He's out of 8th place now.
Yep, a mess with the boost, as always seems to happen. Schenkin really struggling. He's off the back of the field by over a second now. He may have not used his boost.
I think he's used
So I think
some,
he
but I
had.
think he might have used it first. That's the problem.
So, Tombe, 3/4 of a second over the line. Can he break away from Joe Sifford, or is it going to be back to the front for the Swiss driver?
I think Siffert's in DRS. I think the only one who can do it is Siffert at the front of the race.
Yeah, I think Nilsson could have done it without the boost that lap. But
maybe.
we're going to start to see the first round of stops very soon. And we do now truly have a breakaway between the top 8 and the second-class cars behind them.
Yeah, just so leading that group at the moment, but not for very long, as I think Cesaris, Ginty and others will be past him in this next lap. Obviously with the stops,
we should see some cars into the pits this lap, I think.
Obviously with the cars, yeah.
Siffert, though, marching away at the front.
No one out of the top 8, though. Wilson in. And that's the only car. So, Lucky Strike doing their usual based on the last race that I saw, which of course was at Paul Ricard, where they just pit really early.
Got them a podium in Sepang.
Yeah.
So, if it then being caught by Tombe, just Atchison loses out quite badly. Down to 6th. Cesaris up to 9th, and just so down to 12th. Cesaris now got clean air. Don't think it's going to be enough to get into the top 8. Maybe it should be points for the top 8, but I don't think that would have changed much in recent races anyway.
No. So you've still got basically all the new teams basically in this group here. They are all the new team. Technically speaking, of course, March did exist, but it's a new account within the league. Anyway, Siffert and Leclerc in. Everyone else continues on out of the top 8, but others we have pitting are Shearer, Serra, Vassell, and Charlton. So Salazar into the lead of the race once more. I don't know if actually he has led the race since he was on pole. He might have not done. Maybe for a lap.
He led at the start and then he lost it, but
yeah.
So we've lost Leclerc and Siffert from this group.
Yeah.
But whether they will make time, we will see. But Leclerc has now got Wilson behind him, so Wilson has made up positions.
Giunti clearing off from Cesaris.
Yeah, Giunti looking quick then.
But nowhere near the top 6.
Will be in this lap. I said they'll both be in, actually.
Yeah. Which is not, well, to be fair, it won't matter for Cesaris, because he'll have someone that he'll have DRS with anyway. It's just Giunti will be at the front of that queue, I suspect. Anyway. Atchison,
where are they going to rejoin relative to Siffert?
Yeah, that's the question. Where's Siffert? He is coming through the first corner, and Salazar is just behind, but he's going to get DRS. So Siffert's not going to break clear like he has been doing, at least initially. Will he get passed by Nilsson as well? I don't think there's long enough.
Nilsson's very good on the brakes, but he can't do it.
Yeah, I think he was probably about 2 to 3 tenths too far behind of Salazar.
Good undercut from Chico Serra. He's
an opportunity now for Salazar to break away, though, because Nilsson's going to be pressuring his teammate. Obviously on the colder tyres, though. Well, Siffert's are already warmed up.
Yeah. And is that D'Angelo's who looks slow? Yes. Yeah. I don't think Minardi particularly quick this weekend, so I suspect it'll be a good job if either of their cars can salvage any points.
I think going this long is probably not ideal.
I think it worked quite well in that season. It wasn't the one that Stommelen won. It was the one where the Jabwi won. That
it's not worked very well. Okay, Atchison might be okay because he's using his boost. He was about to lose DRS, so Leclerc into the lead, but
it's worked out terribly for Tombe.
Yeah, it has. Although he's now on the boost again, so it's sort of counteracted itself.
And it's worked out very well for March.
There goes Siffert. Salazar trying to break away, but it's going to be to no avail because Siffert's going to get ahead of him. Will he be quick enough to get a gap? I suspect not from this part of the track. I don't think it's long enough for both last and first sector.
They're all still together at the front. They've given a little bit of a gap to me. It's like watching a MotoGP race that Dovi was...
Tombe and Atchison are a bit away, aren't they? And I think both the Minardis are a bit too slow relative to the top four.
Tombe
but they're sticking in. Tombe
got lost out on the last boost cycle. because he didn't get DRS, and Atchison, yeah, Atchison will get past
Well,
here.
Atchison was behind Chicotto because he went the lap longer and got past with DRS, so that's why he's there.
He's about to catch DeAngelis.
Yeah, now he will hope he can stick to DeAngelis and then get the DRS to Chicotto and then have the
Chicotto
pace.
was 5th in the championship last season. He's 6th at the moment. I wonder if he's someone who might be considered for a move up in the world.
It's sort of gone all right for the Cesaris, as in terms of the lower points now, because he's back with near to the... Well, yeah, he's back in there, basically, at the moment.
Yeah, but he'll lose DRS and he'll get done by Wilson. I mean, as Wilson's early stop,
I don't
brilliant.
think he'll lose DRS to Tombe, though, because he's got similar tyres, so...
Yeah, but he hasn't got the car.
No, he's quicker. Quicker in that last sector. I think he's okay. Salazar, the one who's making a break. Is it enough? It is. He only needed an extra 10th in that.
Yeah, De Cesaris doesn't stay there. He's going to lose out to Wilson and Serra.
And Atchison gets past DeAngelis, yeah, with that happening. Now the question is whether he can close up to the back of Chicotto. I don't think he can.
That's it. By pulling the trigger early, it's worked out very well for Scribante because Wilson's now in 9th.
Yeah, that's going to pretty quickly die.
A truly awful race for Tim Schenken.
That's going to die pretty quickly, though, I would have thought.
Yeah, I suspect we'll see. It's not gone so well for Techno either.
She's just holding up the cars that were right on the back of Tombe, basically. Because she's too slow.
Yeah, well, we'll see this lap. Siffert does seem to be the man today. I think
Atchison almost in the DRS of Chicotto, so he's done a great job here. I don't know if he's done enough, though.
This is a race I'd expect Siffert to win.
This is important for him, and he hasn't. The only good part is that he's got no one behind him apart from Tombe to disrupt his progression. But it's not good at the moment unless there's a good amount of... well, there is no offset really because
Chicotto's done a very good job.
Yeah, because Chicotto's the one who's on the same strat. He's on the one who's pit the same lap. He just got ahead of him.
Yeah.
And it's
Tombe and DeAngelis have not done so well on their strategy.
No, not really.
But if I had to pick a winner at the moment, I'd pick Joe Siffert.
I don't know yet.
He's looked pretty supreme all race.
Yeah. The only trouble I had with that is that Leclerc is in the way, so that's why he's breaking away now.
Yeah, but then if Chicotto can get up there, Chicotto could win.
Yes.
His first win outside of Singapore. But I think I still would have to back Siffert. He's just been so good all the time.
Yeah, I feel like you've said that before and then that hasn't transpired.
Yes, that is correct. But we like a good commentator's curse, don't we?
No, not really. And Atchison's failure to be near enough to Chicotto has led to Tombe passing him.
This is a shameful performance from DeAngelis.
Yes, falling behind the Cesaris now. And likely to go further back. Vassell now in the top 10. But obviously Pitt was one of the earlier stoppers of, apart from, well, only by a lap to Wilson, but one of the earlier stoppers indeed. While Schenken is just, there's something going on there, because there's no way you should, well, I mean, he's not in DRS, but also Nakajima isn't, so... The only thing, but they pit, and obviously they pit on the same lap, but maybe that will close up in the end. Yep, Siffert away. Chicotto now third,
Nelson up to second.
So what you said is becoming a reality. Question is now, can Atchison close to his teammate, because he's the next one in front of him. If Atchison can get in here, if he can get DRS from somewhere, he can fight with Chicotto for the win. But at the moment, he can't, because he's not close enough. He was about 5 tenths quicker than his teammate, though. Yep.
DeAngelis has decided to get back into this.
That could be pretty good
for
Atchison.
That's going to cause all kinds of havoc.
But I think... Is Atchison going to react? No. Which is good. Probably shouldn't, but he might just get ahead of him.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's a good idea. No. It's going to get him in DRS now, isn't it? So... That sort of worked in the end.
Yeah, they've just left DeAngelis. So that's DeAngelis' race over for anything other than 8th.
Well, I think that's...
So really, they've just ditched him.
I think that's too right, really, considering his performance.
Yeah, it's been a poor race from the most consistent driver in the championship, but it's, very
He's
poor
prone
today.
To those. Although I would say Nilsson was one of the ones who was more prone to those in Formula Junior. I think DeAngelis was just a safe level until the latter part of the season where he won his first race. But Siffert indeed does look quite imperious now. with that boost in. He's used the same amount as Chicotto, but has just leapt away because he's used it at the right time and was also at the front of the race.
The Angers as well now just really have to worry about Cesaris and Giunti.
Yeah, it's for nothing
So,
though. It's for 8th place.
It's for nothing.
Yeah, it's rather irrelevant.
Yeah, this is now.
Leclerc falls
bad.
behind Salazar for DRS, and Nilsson didn't get DRS either, obviously.
Yeah, Nilsson passed for Salazar, Atchison passes Leclerc,
It's now
Tombe through as well.
It's now bringing the known contenders for this race win, basically.
Yeah.
Question is, once we have our next stops, it's probably going to jumble back up again.
Well, Siffert will pit at the end of next lap, and if you can avoid if you can pit from the race lead and kind of maintain this gap, which I'm not sure he will do too well, but let's see. If you can maintain this gap, then Siffert's looking pretty good. In the last sector, they are much quicker.
Yeah, well, he's got people going 2 laps longer than him, though. That's going to bite back at the end, eventually.
Yeah, but if I think Siffert will be in this lap. And let's see.
What I'm saying is, I think he could comfortably go longer and he would win the race more easily. But obviously, that's hindsight. That's obviously hindsight because they've had to set up the race without knowing what everyone else is doing. Obviously, it's just their own.
Jeff Lees has now appeared in the top 10 as the Project 4s are cascading back through the field.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, the key to Siffert's race is the fact he's undercutting. I think it's just that he's quick, so he's throwing away. He's throwing away something basically that he has as an advantage by going early.
Yeah, but if he stays out a lap longer, he'll lose the lead.
Yeah. Well, no, but he could. Well, yes, at this point, but I meant in general, he should have probably gone. March should have not been as conservative. They should have been more aggressive. Well, it depends on how you see aggressive. If you see aggressive as pitting early, or you see aggressive as going longer. Depends. Anyway, Atchison, is he going to get ahead of Chicotto here?
So if it's right up the arse of someone.
To be honest, he probably don't want to do that, because last time he got passed by Chicotto on the lap that he was going to pit on, which is going to be this next lap, and he ended up with having to catch the field back up again. So I think
he might be coming undone for Siffert because he's stuck by Nakajima now.
Yeah. Indeed. Not for long, though. I think you should get by him in the next lap. Nakajima is one of the guys who's going longest, though, of course. Same as Atchison and Chicotto. So Salazar, Tombe, Nilsson, DeAngelis will all be in. Along with Giunti, Lees, Elg, Cesaris, Charlton. Unbelievably awful performance from Tim Shanklin today. He's not used a lot of his boost as a result as well. Anyway, so Atchison managed to get ahead far enough of Chicotto to remain in the lead. So, honestly, I think that's a win for Kenny Atchison. That he's managed to gap now Chicotto. He seems quicker. We know the route is a quicker car here this weekend.
Yeah.
That could be the race-winning move from him, depending on the pace of Joseph as the race comes to a climax, because he's only 12 seconds ahead of him. But with 10 laps to go,
yeah,
a 2-lap
Tombe, Nilsson,
offset
Leclerc,
could
and
be
Salazar
enough.
are in traffic. His rivals are in traffic.
Yeah, he's about the same amount behind. I think he's going to be about the same amount he was behind of Siffert as last time. But the difference the difference now is that he hasn't got as many cars to. Well, he needs something here. He's not going to get it. He's going to get past himself.
Bad news for Nilsson, a man who needs to really win this race. It's going to be the other March, though.
Does Nova mess up Nakajima's stop?
That will do absolutely nothing for the race. But...
no, it will not. But
Cesaris has ended up really at the back of this group, which is a shame for him. But anyway, let's focus at the front. As Salazar now moves forward.
And Tombe now will, and so will, Tombe will, along with Leclerc. They'll go back ahead of Salazar. Atchison reacting as well. Can he get ahead of his teammate? Yes. This is where he wants to be. Because he wants DRS. There's Atchison. Only question is, will
Sosa's a very good job.
Yeah. Only question is, will Siffert's pace fall off enough for it to be possible? Problem for Atchison is...
done a very good job today.
Yeah, the problem for Atchison is, by the time it comes to that point, he's probably going to have other cars with him that he doesn't want to have. They'll just be in his way, which includes
Yeah, but it'll
Jakarta.
probably continue his 6-race podium streak. That
Oh
should
yeah,
continue.
that I think that will be cemented. Yes, and that's probably the platform that will take him to the championship.
Yeah, because he's won twice, as have Salazar and Nilsson.
Yeah, you don't get. I mean, apart from the first few seasons, a lot of people don't win a lot of races to the championship. Well, Stomlin probably another
Yes,
exception.
like season 2 when
Stomlin of
Nelson
recent
and
though, probably
Rosberg.
another exception. Although Stomlin did a lot of his winning in the last part of the season.
Yeah, he won the last 5 races he came from. No, but Nannini, I think, won the first 3
Did it
races.
actually end
of his
up
before
equaling the
never again.
most or not?
The most in a season, I think, 7, which
Yeah,
is
that was
Rosberg
and
Janssen.
Janssen. Yeah, but I was wondering if Stomlin ended up doing that. Because I think he won one earlier, did he? Or did he screw one?
Yeah, I think he won 6, and I think he won 5 in a row at
Yeah.
the end of the season. But I think
Yeah,
he won
and potentially he
6.
should have won one at, I think, Turkey, but it was.
Yeah, no, they
rubbish.
made errors.
Yeah,
it was not a
Yes, I
well
know.
put
That's what I
together
mean. Though it
campaign.
probably should have been a record season for domination. That's the exception of recent, though, is what I'm trying to imply.
Falling from De Angelis.
Yes, quite. Nowhere near his teammate. I think it was 6 seconds, nearly. 5 and a bit. So Siffert. Atchison's not actually that much close to Tombe. He's struggling to stay with him. Tombe's, for some reason, when he's been in second place, had a good pace. Now what Atchison wants is being able to close in on Siffert, but I don't think it's going to happen. This is the problem for him, because he's going to have his teammate passing him again.
He needs to gap Salazar by a second.
When he needs Salazar to do a job
needs,
for him
yeah.
as his teammate, he needs team orders.
Yeah, but this isn't a team. They're both fighting for a career.
Oh yes, that's most certain, although I don't think Salazar's prospects for AIC are particularly high.
Well, we'll see, but...
He's quick, though.
Yeah.
He is quick.
Atchison in the middle sector.
Not quicker than Siffert, though. Slower than him, but quicker than Salazar. I don't know if that would be enough to get ahead. Because he needs almost two
Yeah, I
tenths.
think he's fine. I think he's fine.
Yeah, he is. But the problem now is going to be another car right up behind him. It might actually pass him, too. I think it will. Yeah. It's not needed to be probably about 9 tenths ahead to remain ahead of Leclerc.
Yeah, Leclerc's the only guy from the top 8 who hasn't been, of the big 4 teams, who hasn't been on the podium yet this season. So he's got a lot to fight for. He has not yet stood on a podium.
This is one of the most awful championships I can remember in history.
What was the gap between the top 4 teams and the rest of them?
Yes. Yes, literally that. This is probably the anti-star of stars.
Yeah, but then again, Nilsson,
I think it's been intended, though.
Yeah.
That was sort of the intention, to spread up the field, but not to this degree, I would argue, but there we are.
Atchison's going to have another run. I think Nilsson will be harder to shake off than Salazar.
Well, by nature of the fact that he has... Yeah, he just looked quicker in the race, yeah.
Salazar was the pole sitter, of course.
Not quicker than Salazar, though. I think it depends on the car behind both... Well, in this case, Nilsson and previously.
Without
Salazar.
looking, who do you think has got the fastest lap?
I don't actually know. Is it Vassell or, like, someone dumb?
It is Dave Charlton,
it's Dave
who's
Charlton.
lapping in perfectly clean air in 18th.
Yeah, that is ideal. I think you're right about not
Anyway.
being able to shirk off Nilsson. Only good thing is it will
think
bring...
he's done
It will
it.
bring...
No,
it
he
will-
hasn't.
Yeah, but the only good thing is it will bring him closer, technically, to Siffert. There's still enough laps left. The only issue now is he's got 2 cars in front of him. And
And here comes
potentially 3.
Salazar.
And now 3.
That's not good news.
Well, no, because then it bridges the gap to Siffert again. Siffert not reacting.
Well,
just
Salazar
yet.
takes the lead, and Tombe's going as well.
Yeah, this
So
is...
what are they going to do? It'd be nice if they waited for like a lap or 2, but they're not.
goes
They're all
Atchison.
going.
And now Siffert is not yet. I presume he will react once Atchison passes him.
But they're all doing a weird thing.
Yes. This is rather highly disturbing.
And this is taking Nilsson and Cicotto out of it, I think.
Yeah. Agreed. but I think it will possibly get. Well, it depends who's going to be second on the last lap, doesn't it? Really.
That's crucial for March if Siffert hold off Leclerc there. Has Chicotto really been in the best position compared to Atchison after the first stops? Is he going to manage to not score from here, or is he going to get Tomba? I think he is.
I don't think we should expect him to be fair.
I think
if you compare him to where
Chicotto's...
De Angelis is, that's probably where the Minardi is generally. It's just he's gone longer. He's got a bit of.
We were questioning the Scribante strategy earlier, but Desiree Wilson is
she's going to fall off.
Remarkably good job.
Yeah, but she's going to fall off by the end, and she's not getting anything out of it. She's just getting 8th. It's pointless.
This is going to be an Atchison victory.
It hasn't worked for Charlton.
I think we're about to see another Atchison victory. Could be a round 1-2.
No, not if he's in the lead, which he's not. But he might actually just pass Nilsson. We'll see. I mean, as it is, yeah, he should win from there because he should take the lead on the last lap. And it'd probably be a 1-2 for Rout as well, as long as...
Is it possible that March are going to end up with a single point after this
event
race?
Yeah. I told you, though, Siffert always does this. He just manages to somehow not be able... And I think it's just too early. I think March had the pace to win here if they just didn't pit too early. At least with Siffert, that is. I don't think Nilsson's been quick enough, but Siffert most certainly. He's had races like that before, though. Atchison should win from here.
Yeah.
Barring any boost potential dilemmas and things like that, but I don't think...
Running out of fuel. Yeah, Nilsson's going to see himself fall down.
I think if people are going to run out of fuel, it's going to be both cars. Chicotto is going to get something, though.
He's going to get 3rd, I think.
Yep, because he's quicker. He might even try and get Salazar somewhere.
Nilsson, if he gives a dab on the boost, can get back up into 3rd, but he's not going to do that.
And as I say, Wilson's now 16th.
And Cesaris has fallen away as well, completely.
Yeah, but Atchison round in the final few corners and is going to take his 2nd consecutive victories, further the season, and another podium, amongst many other things, to extend his championship lead. Chicotto 3rd, Tombe 4th, 5th Nilsson, 6th Leclerc, 7th Siffert, 8th Jasso, 9th De Angelis, Paul, 10th Ginty, 11th Lees, 12th Cesaris, 13th Vassell, 14th Elg, 15th Serra, 16th Wilson, 17th Shura, 18th Nakajima, Charlton 19th, and a horrendous 20th from Tim Schenk in the Fairfade.
Patrick Tombe with the fastest lap.
Good for him. Don't really count for anything anymore, though. Never get ever.
No, they don't.
We never had a fast lap point, did we?
We did.
Oh,
we don't anymore.
Yeah. Well, the reason would be is that people can score points outside of the points. That's why.
Yeah.
Even on the normal point system, they can get a point for 11th in the fastest lap. It's just ridiculous, but yeah. Probably time to go through the championships, I would have thought.
Yep, we're just checking that. Waiting for it to update, which it's not. Oh no, it has. Delightful. So, yeah, Leclerc was 6th, I believe. So yes, Atchison extends his championship lead. It's now 19 points. He's on 55 to Salazar's 36. Nilsson just behind on 32. De Angelis in 4th on 25. Chicotto in the other Minardi on 24. Siffert on 22 after failing to score today. Tombe 7th on 19. Leclerc 8th on 11. And no one else has actually changed in terms of points. So it's still Wilson, Schenkin, Lees, Sura, Zell, Giunti, Jasso, Cesaris, Nakajima, Elg, Charlton, Serra, Guerrero, Adam, Jurisic and Juric to round out the top points because none of them have scored. In terms of the teams, Rout have 91 points now. March on 54, so it's a pretty big gap. Minardi on 49, closing in on March, which I don't think they'll be particularly happy about. Minardi are, of course, a March customer. And then 4th is Akiri Elf on 30 points, quite a way back. And then 5th, Fairfade. 6th, Scribante. 7th, Maurer, 8th, Nova, 9th, Techno, and 10th, Project 4. The two teams that fought it out last season are right at the back of the championship.